Breaking news, Nigerians. A High Court of the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja has granted bail to the former Taraba State Governor, Ishaku, and the ex-permanent secretary, Bello Yaro, each the sum of 150 million naira. The ruling made on Thursday comes as the duo faces serious allegations linked to a 27 billion naira fraud case, and the EFCC has levied a 15-count charge against Ishaku and Yaro, accusing them of a criminal breach of trust, conspiracy, and illegal conversion of public funds. However, the both defendants pleaded not guilty during their arraignment on Monday and sought bail pending the hearing and determination of their case. Their lawyers Paul San and Oluwa Kayode made oral applications for bail, while the EFCC's lead counsel Rotimi Jacob San opposed the request, insisting that a formal application was necessary for a proper response. Meanwhile, during the Thursday's proceedings, Justice Orji granted the bail request after the prosecution did not oppose the writ. Guys, this is a massive cash out for the court and also for the EFCC. The court mandated both Ishaku and Yaro to provide two sureties residing within the Federal Capital Territory. The court also scheduled the next hearing for November 4th as the trial continues. We recall that Darius, Dixon, Ishaku, and Bello Yaro were apprehended by the EFCC on September 27th for their alleged involvement in the misappropriation of 1.138 billion from the 22.5% contingency funds allocated to the Bureau for Local Government and Chieftaincy Title Affairs in Taraba State. And guys, these guys are facing corruption charges levied against them by the EFCC. But as you can see, the court has granted Ishaku 150 million naira bail for this alleged 27 billion naira fraud case. Guys, that is why corruption will keep on thriving in Nigeria. When the court keeps granting them bail, corruption will never cease. So you can calculate, out of the 27 billion naira, they are forfeiting about 150 million, which is not even up to 10%. It's not even up to 10% of that 27 billion naira, not even up to 5% of that 27 billion naira. They are forfeiting 150 million. They are forfeiting 150 million, something that is not even up to 2% of the 27 billion naira. You see the huge amount of money our leaders are stealing. They did not start this embezzlement today. Right in the days of Fela, even before, after we gain our democracy, when Fela used to sing it, that our politicians, they know how to pack money. This thing is still continuing till today. Embezzlement to the tune of billions and billions of naira. At the end of the day, the court will grant them bail, will grant them freedom, rather than making sure they face severe punishments for their crimes. The Nigerian law is too soft for these politicians. It is too soft. The Nigerian law is so soft on them that it tends to pave more way for those in government to loot as much as they can. Had it been they declared a law in this country which states that any politician that steals so amount of money would be put, in fact, in life imprisonment, do you think they will continue doing all these things? Or they give them a severe punishment, either death by hanging or anything? They will stop. They would stop. But no, because at the end of the day, they will run to the courts, and the courts will grant them bail. If they are stealing 25 billion naira, the court will grant them bail of 200 million naira or 500 million naira, and everybody will go their way. The court will take its own settlement. The EFCC will have their share, and everybody will have the share of the looted money. And that is it. Case closed. Case closed. They won't bring up the case again, except there's another case that they are, chasing after. So that is the thing. The EFCC's job is to call these guys in for investigation. It's left for the courts, yes, to pass judgment on them, whether they are guilty or not, right? But then, the EFCC would not object to this. As you can see, they did not object. They granted them bail. Meanwhile, in the case of Yahaya Bello, the EFCC are still running up and down, trying to get hold of Yahaya Bello. You can see what's happening in the country. Politicians are stealing, looting huge amounts of money, but the law is not taking its course on them. Had it been this incident or this money embezzlement happened out of the country, places like the US, the UK, would such a law, would they have granted them bail? No. They would have gone to prison. They would have surely gone to prison. And this money would be forfeited. They will surely get this money back and they will still go to prison. But you see, in the case of Nigerian politicians, these looted funds are not recovered though. Most cases, they are not recovered. And in some cases, they ask them to forfeit some certain amount of money. And after forfeiting this amount of money, the forfeited money, where does it go to? They will still loot the forfeited money amongst themselves. That is the order of the day. It is so shameful. Who will break this cycle of corrupt politicians? It has been in this country for generations, for decades. Who will break this cycle? When will the law sit up? When will our judiciary sit up and sanction these politicians? That's why they come into power. They see it as a means to embezzle money, because at the end of the day, they walk scot-free, like Yahaya Bello is walking free. Imagine a man declared wanted for embezzlement, misappropriation of funds, fraud to the tune of how many billions of naira. And then the EFCC will be looking up and down for him, searching for him, and one governor will be shielding him from prosecution. Is that how it ought to be? No. But in Nigeria, you see anything is possible. So long as you are in government, so long as you have power and connection, you can get away with anything, absolutely anything. Guys, this is really terrible. But here we have it. The former Taraba State Governor had been granted bail for the alleged 27 billion naira fraud case filed against him by the EFCC. I'm dropping here, guys. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section. Thank you.